Welcome back to Unit 5, Goal 17, 1.5.2, Targets and Indicators. As we know, SDG 17 aims to strengthen the means of implementation and revitalise the global partnership for sustainable development. It's seen as partnerships are the glue for SDG implementation in their totality and essential to making the agenda reality. Goal 17 comprises of 19 individual targets and 25 associated indicators through which this may be achieved. In this section, again, we're asking you to consider the extended report, similarly how you'd have considered it for Goal 16, and familiarise yourself with the information, the observations and the trends related to the targets and indicators and progress on Goal 17. The targets of Goal 17 are among the primary tools for the advancement of human rights and well-being globally. And this goal defines, for example, whether there are enough data available to identify those most at risk of being left behind, using statistics, national and global monitoring. The 19 targets are broadly considered and broken down into 5 particular categories, namely finance, technology, capacity building, trade and systemic issues. Now, John has already introduced these targets earlier in the module, so I won't articulate each target, but I would like to consider them from a thematic point of view, just to maybe simplify them conceptually a little. So the first clustering of the indicators is finance, and it is 4 indicators aligned to the theme finance, 17.1 through to 17.5. Again, I won't go through them, but let's talk a little bit about finance as a theme in itself. So the concept of sustainable finance introduces the idea of unlocking investment for economic activities and projects that deliver better outcomes for people and the planet. It's considered that in this way it is a key role to play in funding the Sustainable Development Goals and the transition to a resilient, efficient and equitable global socio-economic model. Now, this is complex, and the challenge afoot is that finance in a global context is not working for the people or the planet. If we consider the global wealth of $430 trillion as estimate, is not going where it's needed most under the current financial system. The current small, separate financial initiatives and institutions cannot deliver the change at the scale that's required. And the remit of goal, or the intent of Goal 17, is to challenge us to develop and or support the development of an architecture for sustainable finance. It's believed that the world needs economic governance architecture deliberately designed to support governments, developmental agencies, civil society and the private sector to make decisions that are for the greater good, that serve everybody, not just the jurisdiction or the particular group behind the benefits of that finance. So let's consider what we mean by sustainable finance. An important question is, how can key global players be orchestrated and monitored in terms of what is considered sustainable financial practices? So in an effort to achieve or support a cohesive approach to achieve sustainable finance, in 2019, the United Nations Development Programme, or known as the UNDP, launched what they term as Sustainable Financial Hub, or Sustainable Finance Hub, SFH. And the purpose of that hub is to aggregate the UNDP's existing work and expertise on financing the SDGs. And that hub offers a comprehensive package of methods and tools that can be deployed and used by the United Nations and its partners to support SDG integration. And the idea is that if we have some uniformity around method and tool gathering, it will enable governments and the private sector and international financial institutions to accelerate financing for the SDGs. So from supporting national strategies that deepen public and private collaborations, to developing global standards for private equity funds, SDG bonds and enterprises, even the development of investor maps for SDG enabling of development at global, regional and national level. The SFH brings the best of the UNDP to accelerate the progress of the SDGs. So I suppose having these tools and models at least is a starting point to measure and map progress towards financial activity that is seen to support the effort of the SDGs. The next thematic area that has been identified is technology for Goal 17, is technology. And there are 3 indicators mapped onto the theme of technology. In terms of why technology, I suppose it's widely accepted, and we continue to emphasize that the UN Sustainable Development Goals are very large, they're very ambitious targets, and they cannot be achieved in isolation. And it is recognized that technology development can play a significant role in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and their targets by improving the efficiency and effectiveness of new and more sustainable ways of development. It is recognised to achieve the SDGs, we need a revolution that changes our habits, and that we have the potential to use technology to create positive feedback and positive gain, and to use all the power of technology with purpose. It's seen that we can, and we know this, we are gathering data all of the time as we live our lives, as we work in our professional fields, as our countries are being managed. We're gathering data, but we can use that data in a better way to inform innovation and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. And if we look at themes, I suppose the idea or the concept of replacement, that technologies can replace manual processes that are extravagant or, I suppose, anti-environment. Optimization, that we can improve efficiency, that technologies can improve the processes we have because of data and automation. And the third area is redesign, that technologies can be used to reinvent or revolutionize a product or service and improve our business modelling. So it's seen that in order to eradicate poverty and reorientate current unsustainable development trajectories up to 2030, affordable technological solutions have the potential to be developed rapidly and disseminated widely. And I suppose in terms of progress, this is an area that is showing improvement in the right direction, probably most consistently of a lot of the other targets and indicators in Goal 17. From our own point of view, I suppose it's to reflect how we as persons or citizens can hold policymakers and funders to task to mobilise science and technology and innovation in a way that is improving the lives of all. And that, I suppose, that's the point of tension, isn't it? We can have innovations that improve something for me or for my job, but is it improving lives for all? Is how it's being made or produced having an ill effect on others? And so how have we an ethical, conscious approach to adapting technology that is in line with the SDGs as a whole?